Right. Hello, everybody. We are live. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jamie Wozni, and I am a Master of Light Activation Guide. So, my job on this planet is to serve other light workers, divinely gifted humans, sensitive souls to open up to their gifts, to live a life of abundance, to understand what it is to be the co creator of your reality and manifest your dreams. So, I'm really glad that you're here. And I'm meeting here every Monday at 11 Pacific. We're just going to chat for 15 to 20 minutes for now until we get the ball rolling and see what we can do to serve you in really coming home to your inner source, which is kind of what today's topic of conversation is about. And I know for me, when I used to hear these things, they would trigger me so much so I couldn't hear it. So I'm coming to you with total compassion and total gentleness and saying that if you find yourself in this category today, don't judge yourself. Just allow yourself to be really nurturing with yourself and curious, and use it to serve you in coming into a greater spiritual evolution. So I titled today's live From Victim Consciousness to Empowered. Now, we can hear that word and think it's embarrassing, I shouldn't, I'm playing the victim. But it can be seen in a really gentle way of, hey, we grew up in a society that doesn't teach us that we're co-creators, that we can use the power of our mind, like neuroscience is discovering and quantum physics is discovering that we can literally change our reality by where our attention goes, by where our focus goes, that we are vibrational beings, that we have the ability to heal, that our brains are plastic and they can change. So, regardless of what was handed down to us, there is a path that we can take to come back home to our wholeness. So, when we hear victim consciousness, we can think, which was my experience, and I still fall into that, and I'll have to identify it. Oh, this is victim consciousness that you observed out there, and then you took it on for yourself, of life is happening to me, I have no control, I'm helpless, I'm powerless. We might feel those feelings in a moment. We might feel helpless in a moment. We might feel powerless in a moment, and feelings are valid, which is what we're going to talk about today. But it doesn't mean just because you're having the experience of powerlessness and it's manifesting in the world of form or whatever it is, that you are powerless. We don't have spiritual school when we're 5 years old. It would be super nice if we did. That teaches us, hey, you are a divine being of light having a human experience. And let me offer you the tools, which is what we're going to talk a little bit about today, to really serve you in your power, in this moving from this innocent victim consciousness to empowered consciousness. So the first misunderstanding is just starting to look, and maybe this is something you can jot down or journal after our chat. Okay, let me just get curious with so much compassion, just between me and my journal. I wonder where I'm living in victim consciousness in my life. I wonder where I've made outside needing to change before I can feel a certain way. That's where we know we've done it. Until you apologize, until this person acts different, until I can control this situation, I can feel whatever, as opposed to unconditionality, which is our true nature. Or being has, we have the ability to open up to unconditional states of being before they manifest in the external world. Empowered. So let me just pull up my notes because there was one thing I wanted to make sure I focused on. Okay. So the first step here is taking responsibility. And this is a hard step because, I've heard people say this, and it definitely triggers me too, that no one's coming to save you. And that can be very scary if you already feel like you're in victim consciousness. And I know for me in the past, I was going around all these different doctors and can someone give me the solution? Just scared. And when somebody says no one's going to come to save you, you're even triggered because you're like, what, isn't that one thing going to serve me? Isn't that one thing going to help me? And yes, you might find the thing in the external world to serve you, but it's the internal first of going, here's your choice. And this is what I invite you to make today here with me. Could I take responsibility for my creations? The unconscious ones and the conscious ones. Because when we unconsciously create something, because we know that our subconscious mind is running the show, it was formed 0 to 7, it's what kept us safe. So sometimes we grew up feeling like, wow, it's safer to play small. It's safer to, fight, flight, freeze, fawn. It's safer to people please. It's say whatever it is that we learn. So there is a part of us that wanted to create that, right? So even if it isn't serving us to our highest, there's a part of us that wanted to create that. So it's taking responsibility and saying, well, clearly I didn't do this on purpose. And the people that came before me, even if there was trauma, if they knew better, they would have done better. It's just this collective handing down of fear, and somebody's going to wake up in the rubble and go, okay, it's got to stop with me. So when we say take responsibility, it doesn't mean saying it's my fault. It's just going, okay, there's some unconscious programming running that's making me act out a certain way. And instead of blaming and shaming the outside world and staying in victim consciousness, I can always look to me. Even though this outside circumstance is happening, what feeling is it bringing up in me? Taking responsibility for the feelings, taking responsibility for the creations. Because that's how we take our power back. Otherwise, we are living controlled and manipulated by out there needing to change, right? And that's a radical way to live. And it's a brave way to live, to say, I'm going to take full responsibility. Now, when you're in the middle of your arguments, it is so hard because you want to say, whoo, this person's doing this thing to me and it's making me feel blah, blah, blah. But what I've learned over the years, and it really helps bring heart to heart with people taking full responsibility, is saying, when you do this thing, so there is no blame or shame, or when this thing is happening in my outside world, I feel. That's taking responsibility for your feelings. It doesn't mean you're going to be a pushover. It doesn't mean you're not going to have boundaries. It doesn't mean that you're not going to listen to your inner wisdom to keep you safe. Of course, you're going to do that. But that whatever's happening inside of you, not it being your fault, it's happening inside of me, given the way that I was raised. This is what's going on in my world. And I can start to explore, hey, I can pray. We can pray right now. I want to be an empowered being. I want to know my co-creative abilities. Show me the way, show me the path, and then that will come to you. So here's one way that we can move into an empowered consciousness, because this is definitely not taught to us. Our feelings are an emotional guidance system. Now, you hear this in many works in the self-help community and the spiritual community, and my head had a really hard time wrapping my head around it until I started to see the truth in it. So I invite you to play with this today, because it's like, what? Well, what's the point of them? At our center, so hear me out for a sec. At our center, our true nature is love. Our true nature is peace. Our true nature is joy. These higher states of consciousness. Now, that doesn't mean the other emotions aren't who we are, but they're an experience that we're having, and they're a scale. So when we are farther away from our true nature, now we have to hear this and not make ourselves wrong when we move away from our center. Because the more we make ourselves wrong, we're in resistance to where we are, and then we hang on to those states. So here we are at our center, connected with our own soul, our own source, our own higher self, whatever we want to call it. And the farther we move away from that, and we begin to have thoughts of, I'll give just random examples: sadness, anger, jealousy. Again, all human. Hello. Hi. Thank you. The farther Thank you for those that are tuning in live. The farther that we move away from our center, the more that we feel it, right? So instead of staying in this innocent victim consciousness and saying that the world is making me angry, the world is making me sad, we move into empowered consciousness and we realize, wait a minute. And again, no one taught us this, so we're on this journey of learning. We tune in and we say, wait a minute, okay, this feeling doesn't feel like my truth, like joy, like love, like connection to my soul, which has a lightness to it. Anything contained in lightness is who you are. So we can just use it as a really compassionate wake up call. Hey, whoa, I'm really angry right now. That's just alerting me to the fact that I've the image that's coming to me is when we're driving and we hit the rumple strips on the side of the highway. Whoop! The rumple strips are letting me know. Is it rumple or rumble? I don't know. Letting me know I'm left of center. It's alerting me. So's the anger, so's the sadness, so's the jealousy, so's the feeling of not enoughness. Yes, that was handed down to us. But what an amazing guidance system to say, hey, kid, even this stuff that was handed down to you because the people before you believed it or the way that they treated you made you create that defense mechanism, your body's so intelligent that it's like, that doesn't feel good. But we grow up in a world that's just kind of numb to that. And we walk around and we're like, that doesn't feel good. Oh, guess I have this issue. And then we try to fix the issue or we try to cope. And there's just a whole nother level of consciousness that I'm pointing us to where we don't have to fix or cope, where we can realize we're in an incredibly intelligent, wise system. And that anything and we're not used to it because again, we're kind of conditioned from little on, wait, I'm allowed to feel that good. That's my true nature. I remember when I was first studying all of this stuff, I was in this understanding called the three principles, and it really spoke of this where your true nature is love and your true nature is bliss. And I know those of us that have been handed anxiety or depression or chronic illness or whatever it is, we're just like, we're jaded. And we're like, that's not our true nature. That can't possibly be my true nature. I don't feel that. I can't wish myself back to that. But when we get a glimpse of our unconditionality, that that is who we are, and that the only reason we are not experiencing it is because we're falling into these delusions, we're falling into these misunderstandings, and making it our commitment to say, okay, well, I want to know the truth of the universe. Send me the books, make me show up to the live YouTube, send me the teachers so that we can just start to get really curious because our brain's going to want to keep us safe and it's going to go, this is crap, I like mine did, that what's the point of emotions, what's the point of feeling? But you want to make sure that you're still in non-resistance to your feelings. So this is like a caveat here where when the anger comes, you have to meet it where you are. You have to allow yourself to move through that energy knowing this isn't my true nature, this is an experience. But we're not in so much resistance to it when we understand that it's love. It's not the outside going, I'm doing all this stuff to make you angry. We move into empowered consciousness when we go, this is this inbuilt loving system in me that's letting me know that I'm using thoughts against myself that aren't really for my highest good. And once I see that, it's like this automatic kind of letting go of focusing my attention there. It's just kind of a, oh, thanks for making me aware. I can release my attention from that and know that I'm using my thinking against myself. So one thing I'll end with is that we can really feel our way through life. We can feel if we slow down from our head and move into our body. We can feel if we're in alignment or out of alignment with our soul, with our purpose, with what we came here to do. But we're all living in our head, running, 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 doing the thing, doing the thing, doing the thing. And we don't slow down enough to feel into it. Are my beliefs, are my thoughts, are my feelings in alignment? And so we have this emotional guidance scale that tells us, does it feel really uncomfortable? I'm farther away from where I am. Does it feel comfortable? I'm closer to where I am. Not making that when we're farther away wrong. Oh, thanks. This is my intelligence system that's letting me know. And the thing I was going to leave you with is anger is actually, because that's something I have dealt with a lot in the past, and it's heavy, so your brain hangs on to it. It's such a strong emotion. It's just showing you that you've been focusing on a lot of what you don't want instead of focusing on what you do want. So then we get angry because we're like, I don't have this, I'm disappointed. And we're stewing in that and we're not using it as that empowered consciousness. Wait a minute. This is just me focusing on what I don't want. Well, what is the anger telling me? Oh, I want, you know, I want a bigger house. Maybe you're mad about your house. I want to feel better. Right. And so, another tool that we can use that I want to share with you is, first of all, just noticing where your emotions are. And another tool we can use in our empowered consciousness is remembering that where our focus goes, our energy goes, where our attention goes, our energy goes, whether it's unwanted or wanted, right? Our attention goes with our focus because we're co creative, empowered beings. And that's how we create, is with our focus. So, a simple practice that you can do every day is focusing on what I want. So, when we notice we're angry, when we notice we're sad, we say we meet ourselves there. We feel the feelings. We welcome them to move through us in whatever way is best for us. And then we say, "Thank you for letting me know that I'm." This strong feeling is letting me know that I really want something, and I'm just not focusing on it. On it. Oh, awesome. Great. Now I have this awareness. This sucks, this feeling, but now I have this awareness. And now I can just take a moment to just say that sentence, to put it out there. Oh, you're reminding me anger. You're reminding me sadness. You're reminding me jealousy. You're reminding me insecurity, that I want to feel secure, that I want a house in the wilderness, that I want more animals, that I want to rescue animals, or whatever it is that it is for you. So be gentle with yourself. Start to notice, where am I living, giving my power away? Where am I living in victim consciousness? Can I start to play with my emotions as a guide? All of them are welcome, but also contain, does it feel gentler and softer and lighter? Or does it feel stronger and intense and ick? And I can know whether I'm using my co creative abilities against myself or for myself. And then when I feel the strong feelings, I can use them as a clue. What am I focusing on that I don't want? Oh, that gives me a clue of what I do want. And can I, throughout the day, just periodically focus on, oh, hey, this is what I want. And just by putting that out there, because you are a vibrational being, you start to call that new reality into you. And then you start to get proof of that new reality. And then you're not just spinning and spinning and spinning in the innocent victim consciousness that keeps you running in circles. So, let me know how this was for you. I know this can bring up a lot and trigger you. So if you have any questions, let me know, because I'd love to help clear it up for you. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'll be here again next Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific. If you'd like to find out more about working with me, you can check out my website, which is jamiewosny.com/services, is where all of my information about how to work with me privately is. I am taking on some new clients now. I only take on about 8 one-to-one clients every 6 months, because I really go deep with people to help move you into empowered living, to really help you, divine souls. If you're a light worker, if you're a sensitive soul, and you really feel like you're hiding and confused, and you're like, I know I have a gift, but I'm terrified to share it with the world. Those are the souls that I work with, to really help shift you into a new level, a quantum level of bringing in abundance, of bringing in magic, of bringing in joy, and really living as that empowered, magnificent, expansive being that you came here to be. So if that resonates with you, jamiewosny.com/services. At the bottom, it says book an exploration call. So I'm there for you to chat, and we can see which one of my services would be the best fit for you. So have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm wishing you all a beautifully empowered day. Please be gentle with yourself, and I'll see you guys next week, if not sooner, and something. Take care.